Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. We're doing well. So we're in the CH-47F, as you can see. Bought this a couple of days ago. Thought I would do a video because it's brand new to me. There's somebody taken off there. So I just thought I would do a quick video, little definition, pick some stuff up, bit of loading, give me thoughts on it. But I think you might be thinking about buying it. I actually bought it early access, so like well before, about 6 months before it was released. So it's been out a couple of days. Okay, so we sat here. As you can see, the cockpit looks pretty good. I'm in VR, so I'm going to try to remember to move slowly because it looks very like jittery. It isn't. It's super smooth, but the VR headset records every little head movement, but you don't see it. You see it on the recording, so it's a bit awkward. I don't fly in like 2D. I just don't see the point anymore. This feels so much better. So I'll try to keep everything slow head movements as best I can. So you can see we've got a load of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 main MPDs, 2 for the pilot, 2 for the co-pilot, and 1 central one. A couple of small ones at the bottom on the canted panel. I'll use my mouse here. These ones here. We've got various buttons and switches. I'm not going to go through what they are. I don't know what 90% of them are. We've got radios down here, radio back there. This is the steering, which I'll actually show you. Then we've got the power lever, which would be a collective, but it doesn't change the collective. It changes the power. And there's the co-pilot copied controls. And we've got a couple of artificial horizons and AWR clock, so you can set timers. Light for the altimeter. You have a radar altimeter here. I'm going to set that about there. And then we've got this thing, which is it's telling me my position forward and aft of my cyclic. You can see it's moving there, dipping down, pulling back, dipping down. You've got the neutral position, so if I'm taking off, I want to be anywhere from about here. If I want to take off and move backwards, probably about there. If I want to take off and move forward, probably about there. If I want to take up straight in the air, probably in the middle. And then these are inches, so 2 inches, 4, 6, 8, and so on. Just down here, we've got our brake. If we push the toe pedals, the brakes go off. You've got brake right, brake left, and then that is going to be your yaw. Yeah. If I want to put the brakes on, push the pedals, push the brakes on, pull the lever, release the pedals, and then release the button. So you've got to hold your mouse down to do that. If I take that off and I put a bit of power in, she should move forward, just like so. And then brake. Got to hold it on, release the pedals, and then it stays on for you. So these MPDs then really nice. So here you can see you've got a lot of information here. You've got your speed. This is where I'm looking now. You've got your altitude, the vertical speed and descent. This is the same as well. You've got a bubble, a trim bubble, compass, various buttons on the outside, speed, torque. When I put the torque on, this will change. So we're at 13% now. If I bring it up a bit, got a 15, 16. Yeah, caution button, we can turn that off. You get plenty of cautions, but You can read the cautions if you want to. You can see we've got a EAPS fail, so that's there. I can't see unless I go to the center column, but that's what they're only advisories and nothing special. And then what I like to have is the instruments on, so I can see all my engine 1, engine 2, RPM levels, temperatures, powertrain. I can see that the pressures and the hydraulics and such. I can also flick between that and fuel, so you can see we've got a full tank. You've got these 2 tanks are forward, mid and aft. Total 6,700 pounds of fuel. That's what we're burning now, 500 in each engine, so 1,000 we're burning as we sat here. As we start to pull some torque or power, that number will change because we're burning more, because we're trying to lift the aircraft. Yeah. And we can take fuel out if we've got like cargo up front. We can take extra fuel out and things. So as long as I've got enough to do the job, then I usually have that on there. Sorry, I have this on this page. I find that easier just to look across and see everything's in the green when you pull the torque up. This is a torque as well, number and that. So I tend to have the map on this one, so for the map we want that, zoom, that's Katasi, that's where we're at. And I put in a waypoint, so we need to find the waypoint. So if we go to this button and flight plan, there you go. That's the way we're going. But I need to zoom back out and it touches again. And then we can zoom out to see that's our waypoint 1. That's the direction indicator. And there's a time, ETA, and 17.6 nautical miles. What we're going to do though, before we do all that, we have to put some cargo in. So what we're going to do is have a look outside. Sorry, I'll show you this first. So there's different positions. You've got the left side. I'm in the left co-pilot seat. I'm trying to move slowly so it looks smooth for you. Then we've got the center position. Must admit it looks absolutely fantastic. Yeah. You start the helicopter up, battery, APU down there and so on, and you've got your levers. I'm not going to do a video of that, but I will do one later on. Pretty straightforward. We have a mirror there, compass in the middle. Let's have a quick look. Position 4 is a door gunner. You can look around, there's the back. I'm trying to move slow so you don't get seasick. And there's the front. 5 is going to be the other side. 6 on the keyboard is the engineer on the back. There's all the controls. Hydraulics. The thing with VR, you physically got to turn your head. Because I'm in a seat, I'm actually sat up front in a pilot seat. I've physically got to turn my head and my body, so it's like a little bit awkward. But we'll go over this later. Looks fantastic. Basically anything, we'll go back. Basically anything that you can fit inside of the hook is possible to carry. So that's what she looks like from outside. Now this is in VR, so I've got things turned down a little bit, but it's a lot sharper on a screen. I just don't like the feeling of the screen. Once you've flew in VR, you lose your depth perception if you go back to a screen. What I mean by that is if I want to look at something, I have to move closer to it with my head. There's no zoom functions, everything's one-to-one. So yeah, it looks really nice. Everything looks modelled excellent. I've got no complaints. I think they've done a fantastic job. Some flares and chaff. See on there, there's the engines. And there's the back ramp. I've got it mapped. So I'm going to zoom out a bit. So it's like 4 positions. Position 1 does that so you can fly like that. See inside. Position 2. So you can actually land on, and that's the final position. Right, so what we need to do now is bring up our weapons and refueling page. And from here you can pick your cargo, so we can pick door gunners. So we're going to stick a couple of these in, door gunners, just because why not. And then you've got this here which is cargo. Add your cargo here, but before then I want to take out some fuel. Because we're only going 16 kilometers or so, we don't need all that. Click the add button. At the top, these aren't implemented yet. I can't get them to work. So what you've got is you can carry or haul a list here. So you've got barrels, crates of bombs, ammo. Let's just pick some barrels. Yeah. So that's, I've selected it. So if I click OK, it goes there. And then if you look behind us, there it is there, 2 barrels, 56 gallon drums, 2 of them. Going to add 5. So there's another 2. 2. Of course you can mix and match. Okay, so now we've got all the barrels there, we need to put them on board. It's pretty simple. All you do is hit this button, select one, and just keep putting them on like that. You don't need to check them. There's no animation, they just go inside. And to be fair, that suits me down to the ground. Once you've done that, close that. You have to, for some reason, you have to keep putting these back in. Do these last, I think. So there's our weights. So we're pretty heavy. That's why I took some. Take a bit of fuel out. Click OK. There they all are. You pop the back ramp back up. You can do all this from the engineer position as well. I could leave that like that and just take off like that. Doesn't seem very responsible. And then the final click locks it, and then you got to click it again, and it makes it sail. Now you can drop artillery and do like sling loads. I'm just going to do this for today. Yeah. We go back to the front seat. There's my mirror, you can see. There's the load. I'm trying to move my head slow for you. Right, so we'll take off and we'll see how this thing goes. So generally, if you just pull some torque, it's a pretty nice flying helicopter right out the box. We're heavy. Right. Oh, sorry. I know. I forgot about that. So I have to do that again. Oh my god. Right, so let me do that again because I didn't wait. I got bollocked then. Right, let's do that again. So we're all okay. We'll just wait. So now we've got our map. We've got our parking brakes on. We've got our altimeter. We can check that to see whether that's working. 1,000 feet. Check. We've got our stabilization, which is the system here. So you always want to make sure that's on both. What I mean by I have to do that to like zoom in, which I like. So if I turn my head slowly, you should be able to see. There's the two guys there. Everything works. I haven't messed with these small screens here. It's mainly for setting up things, your nav, programs, stuff like that. So this steering, I'll show you the steering. So if we switch the steering to swivel, I have a button. You can see me moving that there. I'll show you what that does. Look outside. If you look at that back wheel, it's hydraulically assisted, so you can turn it hydraulically. So if I want to go forward, take the handbrake off, or the brake, pull a little bit of collective. We're at 13%, take it about 15, 17, starts to move, and we can turn left. Come on, we can go left. We can go all the way around as if we want a taxi. It's really easy to taxi. Give it a bit more torque, a bit more power. Then if I click the button, it straightens it automatically to center. So I just click and it'll start to go like straight. Or right or left, or whatever you need. Right, so we'll just stop there. And then just put a little bit of torque. Really heavy. This is heavy, man. But as you can see, it's pretty stable. Right, what we're going to do is drop these off at... There's a hill up there. I'm not going to taxi, I'm just going to turn and... But it is a really nice flying helicopter. I love it. I mean, you can see how much control you've got. We're almost at the max limit for weight. So we're in ground effect. So we'll take it up a bit more to get out of ground effect. There you go. Really nice. I'm gonna put. I've got George, the button for George. So it'll be a bit jerky when I click him on. But what that allows me to do, if he settles down, there you go. That's all George flying now. All I'm doing is keeping the altitude. So that allows me to look outside for a bit. I can find the buttons. There's the door gunners. Looks amazing. Actually, drifting a little bit, so I could tweak it. There's the door gunner. Underneath, you can see the sling points. And if we go to F4, we can see the load inside. Behind. It looks fantastic. I'm going to go back into this because I need to take control because he's drifting. Now I have got trim set up. I don't know though. Let me just see if I can do the trim. Just trying to slow it down a bit, George. trying to stop that. It's trimming, but it's not really working. It's giving us a little. There you go. Come on, George. Trim it out, mate. I'm just pushing the trim button. I don't think it's doing a great deal. No, he's not really doing anything. I'm going to take over again. And that's me now. Or is it not, isn't it? Oh. What the hell? George is... Oh, that's me now, yeah. But this, yeah, so obviously going to be teething troubles. That was George, didn't want to give it up there. I was clicking him off, but... Anyhow. I'm going to change the distance from the front seat just so you get a bit more screening because of the VR's only recording in one eye. This is fantastic. So you can see on the map there we're going to line ourselves up. It's 70 nautical miles, 4 minutes. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, it's been a long time and coming, waiting for it. This is at the minute it's not as good as the Apache, but it is in its own way. I mean, if you're not interested in blowing things up, you should want to do this. It's something different. Yeah, I'm liking it. And once they started bringing more features like troops, you can drop off troops, drop off light vehicles like Humvees or whatever. And if we can work on that sling load a bit better, because it's a bit funny, I don't think it's quite right yet. That's why. And I like the fact that I can just look in the back window and see things. Yeah, it's nice. Sounds are great. I've got all the information works I need. I was a bit intimidated at first when I first seen it. And I was like, oh, it looks complicated. Like all modules do, but it's not. It's one of the easiest ones. I can pick it up in one day. I don't mean fly it, I mean and pick up all the gist of what it's supposed to do. Yes, you haven't looked at the computer screens at the bottom for putting in coordinates and waypoints and turn points, all them things. You can do them on the map, so technically you don't really need that. And then your radios, I've never messed with the radios yet, but they're the same as any other radio. Nighttime flying's great. I've got the night vision set up to a button. I'll put that on now. Yep. And I can turn it up and down. So you can actually see, and all your controls, all your MFDs and your instrument panels, you can read all them as well. That's simple. So you can look over the left panel, you can see our torques. We are about 70%. So I can pull a bit more power. Keep saying torque, it's more power. It's the same thing. And we're at about 95%. Still in the green. Altitude 2,400 feet. Above sea level. And 1,000 feet above the ground. You can tell the difference as well when you've got some weight. You can tell the difference. That didn't want to take off till about 70% power. Yeah, it seems to be. I mean, we're only doing. What we're doing? We're doing 100 knots. It looks like we stood still. It's crazy. It feels like we're not going anywhere. ETA 7 minutes. 11 nautical. Looks fantastic. Every time you get a new module in VR, there's always a time frame where it's like not quite right. Like, I don't mean functionality, I mean it's like jerky, or there's like you get loads of frame drops or something. I want to work on it. I mean, out the box straight away, day one, it handles as if it's a finished module. I think we've done an absolute great job. I just like it's just something different. Hauling stuff, picking things up. I'll make a couple of missions where we can drop things off and pick up maybe a vehicle which is broken down, pick that up, take it back, something like that. What we're going to is a base up on the hills about 6,000 feet. We're at 4,000 now. I haven't figured out the trimmer yet. I can't get that trimmer to bloody work. So what I've found is I just have to push the pedals to get the yoke. As soon as the trimmer, when you click the trim button and release it really quick, it flicks just like you just seen there. Little things like that. But because your leg's gonna hurt after half an hour of pushing the left pedal. I'm constantly pushing the left pedal now. It wants to go to the well, a tandem rotor shouldn't do that, so it should trim it out. But let me just try, see if I don't think a lot of things are like working correct. We'll change our course a bit. It's good. 092. And it looks like I can just say C. That's the next mountain, yeah. Like 6 kilometers, 6 nautical miles. We're up at 5,000. One thing to note, if you leave go the cyclic, it's always going to go up, always going to go down, always going to go left. So you constantly have to tweak it all the time. I don't know whether that's needs fixing or it's supposed to be like that, I don't know. Yeah, it looks fantastic. All the buttons look excellent. You've got the glare off the screens. And if you're playing on a screen, it's like super clear, super sharp. Everything looks better. I just can't go back to a screen after you get the depth thing, and when you move your head, it's just like real life. So yeah, I ain't gonna go back to a screen even though I've got a decent monitor. It's just nowhere near as good with head tracker. Okay, I've got eyeball on our camp. 3.7 nautical miles. ETA 1 minute and 50. So I'm going to start bringing it down a little bit, a bit high. So we're descending 500 feet a minute, 400 feet a minute. Speed 109 knots. We'll start to reduce that as well. Got a radar RWR warning indicated to the left there. That seems to work okay. Yeah, not quite. I'm just admiring the view. So this thing's going to shine like any other module shines when you can get somebody else in. A friend of mine lives in the States, and we meet up usually once a week online, and he hasn't got this yet, so I'm waiting for him to buy it. He's just picked up the Kiowa. I'm not getting the Kiowa. I'm just going to keep this and the Apache. That's the only helicopters I'm going to stick with, and I'm just going to learn them. I've got all the planes, well, not all of them, all the main ones. Don't fly them. Just like rotors, rotorcraft better. There's just something about what I like about helicopters is there's no rush. I know you want to be doing like sort of 500 knots, 600 knots in a plane, and I get all that. But I don't want to be in a rush. I want to take my time, enjoy what I'm doing. I do like the A10 though. Right, so there's our landing site. So this is fuel. We bring some diesel up here for these guys. We're going to go close to the trees on the right and turn and land. So he's dropping our altitude a bit. 200 feet a minute. 300 feet a minute. Yeah, I think I'm a bit low in the seat. I went a bit wide there. Yeah. A little bit fast, but brakes on. That was a crap landing, by the way. It's weird when you're recording, you always do things worse. It's weird, isn't it? So handbrake on, and we put outside. Not too bad. It's on a bit of a slope as well. Pop the landing platform down at the back, the ramp. Okay, F7 I use cargo, so that's to take cargo off, cargo on. It's even easier to get these out. You just got to click 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There they are, all behind us. This doesn't have an X on, so you've got to click that again. That's it. Ramp up. I'll leave it open this time a bit better. There's the gunners. So if I go to the gunner seat, which is like number 4, I think. 1, 4. Then, oh, I haven't set it up. Yeah, I haven't set it up. So you need to set it with a mouse. I don't know how to do that. Maybe my controller? No. So yeah, you got to set this up. and then you obviously can use that. Looks pretty cool. One. Okay. Right, so take back off and go back home now. Let's have a quick look at this a second. Find the arrow. Okay, I'm just trying to zoom out a bit. There we go. Symbol, that's that. Okay. So you got the nav line. Then you've got, trying to remember which one it is, podcast. Not that one. I thought it was this top. Don't know. You've got the rings as well. You put the rings on. We'll leave that on. Okay. And we're ready to go. So make sure that you're in the neutral, somewhere in the neutral. And then just, you can pull quite a lot of torque. And it'll just lift up. It's really easy. Yeah, it's a little bit jerky because of OBS. I'm going to change the point of view again so you can see a bit better. As you can see now, we've got a lot more torque to play with because we're a lot lighter. That's like 90%. We're already up to 147 knots. I think I've added 170. There's 160. It's maximum torque. 161. 168. So my collective lever or thrust lever is right up at the top. I can't actually pull any more torque. I keep saying torque, I meant power. Everything's in the green, pretty much. Temperature's a little bit high, but 180 knots, 175. So yeah, she's definitely fast. Absolutely great. So we'll land this. Do I recommend getting it? Definitely. I can't say. So this is going to be definitely. I mean, these other helicopters, like the Gazelle. Nah, not interested. Too small. My brother's flown in a Gazelle when he was in the Marines. British. I don't like them. By the way, the Gazelle was Blue Thunder. That looks cool-ish. The Hind, I really fancied buying the Hind. What put me off is all the Russian numbers and things. I'm like, okay. I mean, it's bad enough trying to look at all things in English. It's hard enough, abbreviations, but Russian, you literally just got to learn everything by videos, and I just couldn't be able to do that. What else is there? There's MI8. Thought about that, again, Russian. I'm not against Russian stuff. Just don't if there was a mod, there probably is a mod actually, I could change all the symbols to English. Makes life a bit easier. Because everybody has to go to work. People don't want to spend months and months trying to learn a module. Puts them off. That's the reason I'm not going to buy any more helicopters. Unless something comes out, which I really want, but I don't think. So you got the gunship, the Apache. That is just fantastic. I love that thing. I just learned all the systems. And then this one, so this is basically a flying truck. So this is a hauling gear. Which I like. I'll just nip over this bit here. Flying at night's also good. It's a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Because of the big cockpit and you've got like loads of view. Yeah, so we're 130 knots over the top of here at 3,000 feet. There's the airfield, there's our airfield at the back. Right in the distance, 12 o'clock position on the nose. 3,300 feet, we're going to start diving, picking up some speed. I like about VR as well, even though it's not as sharp, I can see things better because it's 3D. Yeah, it's just better. So you don't get that feeling of depth with a screen, and also the immersion. So whatever you look, you just feel like you're in the cockpit. I will land on the runway. Uh, 2,300 feet, 160 knots. I mean, if I'm doing 150 knots in the Apache, it's squarely as it's all over the place because of all them things sticking out on the wings, all the drag off the. But it's great round about 120. Right, let's get some. So we're dropping at about 1,000 feet a minute. $175 knots, so we're picking up quite a bit of speed. I'll switch back over to my perspective because I like to see. $160, speed's coming down. Because I've got so much power, you can come in hot and flare and take off quite a bit of speed. But I'm going to use the runway. That's why I like helicopters as well. You've got more time to figure out what you need to do. In a jet, you've got to get it right, pretty much. By this, I could be high, I could be low. I don't have to worry about falling out the sky. The power's right down now. Too low on the seat. I need to adjust it. I'm not actually going to land, I'm just going to hover. I'm going to turn off here and just have a little play over here before we end this. Hey guys, if you're thinking about getting this, I don't think you'll be disappointed. It's on sale at the minute. I had it 6 months ago, and it's just going to be great in the Afghanistan map because of the. I tried to do a few pinnacle landings, didn't go well. I haven't sussed it out yet. So we're going to drop our speed. OBS is making it more difficult because it's a bit laggy. Trying to get it. Let's break down that. Not the best. There you go. Doesn't make a massive difference with OBS. Yeah, that's not too bad. A quick look. Oh yeah, a bit too far over there. So we can go forward a bit. Break off. Neutral position, break off. Bit of torque. Oh, that was. Yeah. Handbrake on. Right guys, yeah. CH-47. F model. Absolutely great. Loving it. Air cavalry. So, yeah. I think you'll really enjoy it if you get this. There's so much potential. At the minute, we're limited because it's only been a couple of days and it's early access. But I can see water landings, picking up boats, dropping off divers, parachute, dropping parachutists off, picking up all sorts of things. Nighttime raids, dropping off troops. I think it'll be great. So what we're going to plan, maybe mate, is we're going to do a couple of missions where we make something where maybe he gets damaged and he has to land, and I'll come and pick him up, or even pick the helicopter up and bring it back. I wouldn't think they just leave it. Say it landed because it took some damage, but it's still salvageable. Pick that up and bring it back. Things like that. Or be a mobile fat cow mission, stuff like that, ammunition. Picking things up from aircraft carriers, dropping them off at other ships. Yeah, the list goes on. It's just like a truck in space. But yeah, you can imagine all the troops in there, and you can carry all the heavy gear what they want. You can sling that underneath, and when you drop them and the gear, maybe a small light armored vehicle or something. Don't know. Yeah. Alright guys, anyway, I hope you like this quick video. I'll do more. Give us a like if you haven't already, and if you haven't subbed, drop us a sub. Any questions, leave below. I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers. Thanks for watching.